7 unwritten cruise rules every first-time cruisers break. You've booked your first cruise. You've watched the YouTube videos, packed the wrong number of shoes, and now you're ready to sail off into the sunset. But let me tell you something. There are unwritten rules at sea. And first-time cruisers? They break them. Every single time. I'm talking about things you won't find in the brochure, things that can turn you from happy passenger into the person everyone glares at real fast. And today, I'm going to walk you through 7 unwritten cruise rules every first-time cruiser breaks. Stick around, because the last one is the rule that separates the rookies from the smart cruisers, and it's one that the crew secretly love you for following. Number 1. Buffet line etiquette. The buffet. The heartbeat of every cruise. It's the place where you'll find every single first-time cruiser breaking the same rules within minutes of boarding. Here's the thing. Cruise buffets aren't a free-for-all. But tell that to the guy who cuts right in front of you because he just wants one sausage, or the person who hovers over the carving station, breathing on all the food like it's their personal smorgasbord. Or my favorite, the kid who grabs 3 cookies with their bare hands and puts one back. Thanks, Timmy. We all wanted your hand germs with dessert. There's an unwritten flow. You start at one end, you move in one direction, and you don't backtrack. Nobody wants to play human bumper cars with someone coming against the current for just one more scoop of mashed potatoes. I once read a news story about a cruise line that actually had to put signs up in the buffet that literally said, "Please don't touch the food with your hands." Imagine paying thousands for a vacation, and the staff are basically writing rules for kindergarten. And let's be real, first-timers get so excited that they pile their plates like they're never going to see food again. 3 bread rolls, 6 shrimp, a mountain of mac and cheese, all on the same plate. Here's the secret. The buffet isn't going anywhere. You can go back as many times as you want. So pace yourself. Nobody's impressed with Mount Everest made of bacon. So the unwritten rule? Respect the flow, don't cut the line, and use the tongs, not your hands. Break it, and you'll be the passenger that everyone whispers about in the dining room later. Number 2. Elevator etiquette. If you want to spot a first-time cruiser, don't look at the sunburn or the lanyard with their keycard. Just watch them at the elevators. It's like manners get tossed overboard the second those shiny doors open. Here's the thing. Elevators on ships are not like elevators in hotels. They're slower, there are fewer of them, and at peak times. It's like survival of the fittest. The unwritten rule is simple. Let people get out before you shove your way in. But first-timers? Nope. They see those doors open, and suddenly it's the running of the bulls in Barcelona. I've literally seen families of 6 squeeze themselves into an elevator while passengers inside are still trying to step out. You end up with this awkward shuffle where no one's moving, everyone's muttering, "Excuse me," in 10 different languages, and the poor person with a mobility scooter is stuck in the back like, "Why did I sign up for this?" And then there's the one-floor riders. Yes, you. The person who takes the elevator down one deck to the buffet while an entire line of people waits. Unless you're elderly, injured, or hauling a suitcase, stairs exist, and they're usually faster. But first-timers treat the lift like their personal Uber. Oh, and don't get me started on the button pushers. The kid who slaps every single floor button just for fun? Unwritten rule. Parents, control your spawn. Nobody wants to stop at 12 decks when they only needed deck 4. Here's a funny one. A crew member once told me that during embarkation day, elevators can get so swamped that they see grown adults actually give up and climb 10 decks of stairs just to avoid the chaos. 10 decks. That's like climbing the Leaning Tower of Pisa, but in flip-flops and with a margarita in your hand. So the unwritten rule is this. Elevators are for those who need them, not your convenience. Let people out first. Don't block the doors, and maybe take the stairs if you can. Trust me, after a week of cruise desserts, your waistband will thank you for it. Number 3. Deck chair hogging. If there's one thing that drives cruisers absolutely insane, it's deck chair hogs. And you can always spot the first-timers because they think they're being genius masterminds, when in reality, every single person on the ship knows exactly what they're doing. Here's how it goes. It's 7 a.m., the sun isn't even up yet, and you've got rookies sneaking out with towels, flip-flops, and a paperback novel they're never going to read. They carefully scatter these items across a whole row of prime poolside loungers, then disappear back to bed for 4 hours. Congratulations, you just invented the least original scam in cruising history. The unwritten rule. If you're not using the chair, you don't get to claim it. Simple as that. But first-timers break this constantly. They'll argue with the crew, they'll argue with other passengers, and some even try to write their names on the towel like it's a parking permit. I read about one cruise where the staff actually started timing the chairs. If a seat was left unattended for more than 30 minutes, they'd scoop up the towels, bag them, and free up the chair. And you know what? People still complained. One woman swore she was just grabbing breakfast, which somehow took her 3 hours and a trip to the spas. And this isn't just about comfort, it's about numbers. On a ship with 3,000 passengers, there are never enough prime pool chairs. So when first-timers hog them all morning, it turns into an all-out war. People pacing, people glaring, people standing awkwardly in swimsuits holding a drink with nowhere to sit. Here's the kicker. Half the time, the chair hogs don't even use the chair when they finally come back. They plop their bag down, dip in the pool for 5 minutes, then vanish again. Meanwhile, 10 other people missed out on sunbathing because someone's flip-flops reserved a spot. So the unwritten rule? Don't be that person. If you need a break, 30 minutes is fair. Beyond that, your towel becomes community property, and the crew will happily relocate it. And believe me, nothing makes you look more like a rookie than storming up to guest services furious because your deck chair got stolen. Number 4. Cabin hallway noise. Here's something first-time cruisers don't realize. A cruise ship hallway isn't like a hotel hallway. It's worse. Sound travels down those long, narrow corridors like it's going through a megaphone. You can hear everything. And yet, rookies treat those hallways like their own personal karaoke stage. You'll see them shouting to their family down the corridor, "Honey, did you bring the sunscreen?" Meanwhile, 50 cabins are now involved in this sunscreen drama. Door slamming? Oh, it's constant. First-timers don't even think about it. But when you let your cabin door swing shut at 1 a.m. after the deck party, it sounds like a cannon blast to the poor family next door who's trying to sleep. I once read on a cruise forum where someone counted their neighbor slamming the door 27 times in one night. That's not vacation. That's torture. And let's not forget the kids running relay races. Parents, I get it. Your little ones are excited. But when they're sprinting up and down the corridor at full speed, laughing and screaming, it's like trying to nap next to a Formula One racetrack. Cruise veterans know this rule. If your kids need to burn energy, take them to the kids' club, not Deck 9 Hallway Speedway. Then, there's the late-night returners. Maybe you've had a few too many cocktails at the piano bar, and suddenly whispering isn't an option anymore. Nope, you're laughing at full volume, telling inside jokes, and fumbling with your keycard like it's a Rubik's Cube. The unwritten rule? Hallways are quiet zones. Keep it down, or risk being that cabin everyone complains about the next morning. Some ships even have signs up that say, "Shh, people are sleeping." That's how bad it gets. Imagine being such a noisy first-timer that the cruise line had to literally put up kindergarten reminders. So here's the rule. Treat the cabin hallways like a library after midnight. Talk quietly, close doors gently, and for the love of all things cruising. Don't start singing after karaoke night in front of cabin 8123. Nobody needs that encore. If you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more cruise tips and tricks. All right, let's keep going. Number 5. Walking through the ship in swimwear. Picture this. You've just gotten out of the pool, dripping wet, hair plastered to your forehead, holding your half-melted cocktail. Instead of grabbing a towel or a cover-up, you march straight through the atrium, bikini or Speedo on full display, dripping like a leaky faucet onto the marble floor. And you wonder why everyone's giving you the side-eye. Here's the thing first-time cruisers don't realize. A cruise ship is part resort, part city, part hotel. And the unwritten rule is simple. Dress for the space you're in. Pool deck? Fine. Buffet line in your soggy board shorts? Not so much. I've seen people in nothing but swimwear stroll right up to the main dining room doors, completely baffled when the maitre d' politely tells them, "Sir, no, you cannot eat steak in your Speedo." Or women dripping across the casino floor, leaving a little Hansel and Gretel trail of chlorinated water behind them. Trust me, nobody wants to slip on your flip-flop puddle while they're playing the slots. Some cruise lines have even had to put "Please wear shoes and a shirt" signs outside the buffet because first-timers think grabbing a plate of pasta in their bikini is totally fine. Spoiler, it's not. Cruise staff are too polite to say it out loud, but the looks say everything. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you need to dress like it's a black tie gala every time you step inside, but even a simple t-shirt, cover-up, or sundress makes a world of difference. You wouldn't walk through a hotel lobby dripping wet, so why do it on a ship? Here's the part I love. Seasoned cruisers can spot the first-timers this way. They'll nudge their partner and whisper, "Yep, definitely first cruise." It's like a secret code. So the unwritten rule? Swimwear is for the pool deck. Everywhere else, cover up. Break it, and you'll be remembered as the guy in the banana hammock at the buffet. And believe me, nobody wants that nickname following them around the ship. Number 6, overcrowding the hot tub. Every first-time cruiser sees the hot tub and thinks, that's my spot, my relaxation, my Instagram moment. What they don't realize is that hot tubs on cruise ships aren't magical spa sanctuaries. They're more like people soup. Here's how it goes. The tub fits maybe 8 people comfortably, but first-timers treat it like a clown car. 10, 12, sometimes 15 folks all squished in, knees touching, personal bubbles obliterated. At that point, you're not relaxing. You're practically making new relatives. And the etiquette? Totally ignored. First-timers will wade in with their pina colada in a glass cup, because nothing says safe like balancing breakable glass over bubbling water. Others treat the hot tub like a kiddie pool, letting their kids splash around with snorkels while adults are trying to unwind. I once saw a dad toss his toddler in like it was bath time at home. Unwritten rule, the hot tub isn't daycare. Then there's the lifers. You know the type. They camp out in there for hours, turning pruny and monopolizing the space like they own stock in the cruise line. Meanwhile, 5 other groups hover nearby, waiting, staring, silently judging. One crew member once joked online that the hot tub is basically a DNA soup by the end of the day. And honestly, they're not wrong. Sweat, sunscreen, spilled cocktails, it's all swirling around in those bubbles. Yet first-timers still pile in like it's the fountain of youth. So what's the unwritten rule? Keep it short, keep it classy, and share the space. 15 minutes, 20 tops, then let someone else have a turn. No glass cups, no splash zones, no marathon soak sessions. And for the love of all things bubbly, shower before you go in. Nobody wants to sit in a stew of sunscreen and nacho cheese remnants. Break this rule, and you'll officially graduate from rookie cruiser to hot tub hog. And trust me, that reputation sticks quicker than chlorine on your swimsuit. Number 7, crew etiquette and tipping. Here's the thing first-time cruisers don't always get. The crew aren't just staff. They're the ones keeping your entire floating city running smoothly, and most of them are working insane hours, far from home, just to make your vacation perfect. Yet rookies, they'll breeze past without even a hello, leave plates and cups scattered everywhere, or worse, treat crew like they're invisible. The unwritten rule is simple. Respect goes a long way. A smile, a good morning, stacking your dishes at the buffet instead of leaving a disaster zone, tiny things that make their day easier. And believe me, the crew notice. Now let's talk about tipping, because this is where first-timers really mess up. They hear gratuities included, or they prepay their service charges, and they think they're done. But what they don't realize is that a little extra appreciation goes miles further than they imagine. On my recent cruise, I actually brought a stack of $5 notes with me. Every time a crew member went out of their way, maybe they brought me a drink faster than I expected, or they remembered my name, or they just gave me amazing service with a smile, I slipped them a 5. And let me tell you, the reactions were priceless. They were so genuinely appreciative, sometimes even surprised, because that small gesture told them I actually saw them, not just the uniform. It's not about throwing money around. It's about showing gratitude in the moment. That $5 bill can mean more to them than you think. It's the difference between being just another passenger and being the cruiser they'll actually remember. And let's be honest, who do you think gets the extra effort the rest of the cruise? The one who barked orders and left dirty dishes everywhere? Or the one who said thank you and tipped a little extra? Exactly. So the unwritten rule is this. The crew aren't robots. They're people. Respect them, thank them, and if you can, tip them personally. You'll not only make their day, but you'll make your cruise 10 times better. And there you have it. 7 unwritten cruise rules every first-time cruiser manages to break. If you've made it all the way to the end of this video, drop a cruise for you in the comments and I'll personally thank you. I'd also love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced any of these on a cruise? Or do you have your own unwritten rules that drive you nuts when people break them? Let me know, because I might just add them into another video down the track. Until then, remember, respect the buffet, respect the hot tub, and for the love of cruising, wear a shirt in the atrium.